Dash: a sudden burst or splash, a stroke of a pen, a flashy display. These are just 3 of the 12 definitions Webster's dictionary gives for the word dash. But a new definition of this tiny word is changing the way people live their lives. Hi, I'm Nancy Hornback, reporting from Syosset, New York. The man responsible for giving Dash a whole new meaning is life coach, motivational speaker, and CEO and founder of Dash Systems, Eric Aronson. A few minutes with this dynamic man and I was ready to make some changes of my own.
I have lived through the American dream and through the American nightmare. And I had an opportunity to spend 3 years separated from my wife and my children in a 8-foot by 12-foot jail cell. And at 12:06 a.m. on June 20th of 2000, I hit rock bottom. And that's when I came up with the concept of Dash, where if I died tomorrow and on my tombstone it said, "Here lies Daddy, he drove a Lamborghini," I made a lot of mistakes in my life.
You have said you were not arrested but rescued. What do you mean by that?
When I went through the prosecution and the criminal case that I had to deal with, I had 2 choices. Either I could fight it till the end and try to skate by, or by being incarcerated, it gave me the ultimate time out in life and the lessons that I needed to make sure I survive in this Dash.
You developed an acronym for Dash. What is it?
Dash stands for determination, attitude, success, and happiness. So no matter what it is in life that you want to accomplish, if you're looking to quit smoking, if you want to quit drinking, if you want to have a better relationship with someone, if you're quitting drugs, if you are determined to do it, and you have a positive attitude about it, and you instill the successful traits of someone that has accomplished it in the past, you will create happiness by accomplishing your goal.
This philosophy led you to a new lease on life and a new corporation, Dash Systems. Tell me about that.
Well, I formed Dash to more or less save 1 life a day. That is my goal. Everyone has a goal in life. My vision is to go out there and write books. We have 10 books now, and those books are primarily to help people get through the mistakes that I've made. As children, for those people out there that have children, you punish a child, you send them to a room, you give them a half-hour punishment, they come back, hopefully they learn from that lesson. I've had the unfortunate experience of being punished for 3 years. I came out, and now it's my job to teach other people not to make the mistakes that I've made and the people associated with my company, to instill in them that life is not all about how much money you make, but about how much you can help somebody.
What avenues do you have to reach people?
We have many different avenues, one of them being media, TV, radio, print. There's so many people that contact us on a regular basis, because when you actually hear the whole Dash story about when you die on your tombstone, so many people say it hits them in a very special place. It hits them in the heart, and they say, "Wow, that's right." You know, I don't know about you, but I know there's 168 hours in the week. I know there's 86,400 seconds in a day, and you can't take that money with you tomorrow. I consider time money. People seem to money is their most important thing, and money is their God. It used to be for me as well, until I realized that money does not give you the opportunity to have the intangibles of life, like your child looking up to you in your eyes after being successful at baseball or hitting a home run. And all the money in the world, you can't buy that. So here at Dash, what we try to do is instill the values. It's values versus value, and that's what we try to accomplish.
How many books have you written, and is there a common theme through them?
Well, there's approximately right now 10 books done. When I talk about Dash, many people don't know what Dash is. Dash is a 100-yard dash. So there's a starting line, which is your birth, and a finishing line, which is your death. And every 10 yards or so in this race is another hurdle. And each hurdle is another book. Dashing through addiction, dashing through relationships, dashing through your health, dashing through financial freedom, and so on.
What is the message you deliver at a live engagement, and do you have a particular delivery style?
I think shock value is a very important aspect of Dash, because you have to make people realize what life is really all about. So a lot of people take things for granted, like breathing, and it's a subconscious or an unconscious decision to breathe. We here at Dash try to make people understand that going through life is not a subconscious decision. You have conscious decisions to make in your life. I'll give you a simple little story. If there's 5 birds on a wire and one decides to fly away, how many are left?
Say 4, but...
Exactly. 99.9% of the people that I ask that question to say 4. The real answer is 5. A bird's decision to leave the wire does not remove it from the wire, it takes action. Many people out there in life make a lot of decisions, they're going to do a lot of things with their lives, but they never take the action to make them happen. We here at Dash try to instill in people the action that's necessary to accomplish their goals.
I was brought here to Dash having run a very, very successful executive business coaching practice to help Dash achieve the levels of elite coaching so that we can make a much bigger and stronger impact in the marketplace, helping business owners, helping individuals, helping salespeople achieve the objectives and results that they'd like to hit. And I am a graduate of Coach U, so I have certifications, I have many years of business experience, I've been CEO of my own company, I've been an educator, I'm also a certified financial planner. So if we bring all of these elements together, the experience that I have can help in the training, it can help in the actual coaching, and certainly also being a speaker, I bring my own clients to Dash as well, and the word of mouth of the credibility that I bring certainly helps Dash.
I used to work for Eric a couple of years ago, actually about 8 years ago, and I contacted him just recently, and I heard about what he was doing with the Dash principles, and I read his book, and it was great, and I've applied those Dash principles to my existing business, and so far it's been great. I've increased my business probably by over 50% since I've read the book.
When I saw it, I was taken aback. I was like, wow, this is amazing. Because I always saw myself being, on a world platform, just, talking about the truths that I had come to know, primarily based on my belief system, which is Christianity, and not the religious part of it, but more or less the belief part of it, which is in, people. No matter what they look like, what religion they are, what have you, but just looking for the good in each and every person. And when I started to read this Dash thing, and I was like, oh my goodness, is this it? Is this it? And I keep, asking myself this question. I keep coming here, talking to him, and every question is being answered. And as I go through the material, it's amazing. Like this guy had, read every book that I read. And I knew it was time.
It was one of the best books I never read. It was actually a CD. And it taught me that there are so many more things in life that we don't recognize. And some of the sayings and thoughts I repeat to other people.
We do it by phone calls. We do weekly or bi-weekly sessions over the phone for an extended period of time, usually a minimal of 6 months. But we stay with the people over time because life situations change and problems change, and one's ability to grow changes. And so we do that over a period of time, hoping to make a very strong connection in which we are kind of the guiding support for people in their lives. And what we know about people and their foods and their eating and the way they take care of themselves physically, emotionally, and mentally is that all often wavers when they're not feeling good about themselves, or when there's a problem that arises, the way one takes care of themselves shifts. And so the coach is there to really help them get through those periods and still take good care of oneself, because the best way to get through a troubled period in time, or a stress or a trauma of any sort, is to be strong and whole and centered for yourself. So that's what really the coach's role is. That's what I see my role as, kind of like a tree that bends in the storm and goes through the storm with somebody.
Who is your typical audience?
Anyone from 8 to 88. When you talk about Dash, you're talking about the day you're born and the day you die, and that little insignificant line, that Dash is your life. So we have children, being the victim of sexual abuse, there are a lot of children out there that don't have anyone to talk to. They really don't feel comfortable talking to their parents. They don't really understand what's happening to them, regardless of what situation. So sometimes talking to an outsider or an individual who has some experience really helps the child. And the adult who's gone through their whole lives and their Dash is almost up, they don't know how to handle certain things as well. So what they do is they look to us to give them some guidance in the golden years of their lives.
As you said earlier, another aspect of your business is coaching. What are life coaches and how important are they?
Everyone needs a coach. Tiger Woods needs a coach. Venus Williams needs a coach. The Yankees need a coach. Any professional sport, any professional individual, politics, everyone. Why? Because you being involved in the situation is one thing, but having someone from a bird's eye perspective to give you what other people may see that you may not see is what's important. You name someone who has been successful in life and I'll tell you the coach that coached them.
Is the focus of your coaching strictly professional?
We consider ourselves life coaches. So life coaches is the gamut, the umbrella like I mentioned earlier. We talk about life, business, executive, career, relationship. There isn't a subject that we can't coach somebody on. We here at Dash have hired the best of the best of the best to help people in certain specific situations. So if you have a problem in a relationship, we have someone that has 25 years of experience on dealing with relationships. We're not going to put you in touch with a business coach. So we really try to segregate and select the individual with the proper coach.
Well, the DASH system is a good concept. Eric obviously developed it while he was in prison, and that's in the book. It's something he's told, and he has a story that's basically a rags to riches, back to rags story, and hopefully back to riches.
After leaving medicine, I was in business for 11 years and sold my business. I took about a year off, and at that point I was looking for something else to do with my life and also to use my medical background that I had to help people. I saw Eric's book Dash and I saw an article about him in Newsday. I contacted him, we had numerous meetings, and I felt this would be a great opportunity to take two industries that I was in, my medical profession and also my business knowledge, combine them and merge them to help people with their life in either female problems, infertility, pregnancy loss. I also do have some clients that I just help with their business, and I'm a business coach also.
Well, right now I'm helping Eric and the company itself get off its feet and facilitate a lot of the structure that has to be in place for the coaching practices. And I'm also on my way to be a life coach as well. And how I came to Dash is is the best story of all. Prior to coming to Dash, I was an account executive within fashion. I was doing corporate sales, and after a successful career with that, it just wasn't really fulfilling, and I took a hiatus. I did some extensive travel in Southeast Asia, and I came to realize that I really wanted something much more significant in what I was working so hard doing every single day of my life. And just on a whim, a friend had actually said that I should speak to Eric Aronson. He said, it's this author, and you know, being that you're going through this right now and you're confused about your career and what exactly you want to do and switching industries, there's a great person to speak to. So I met with Eric, and what was just really planned on being a conversation turned into a wonderful job opportunity.
I think it's great. I think everybody needs a life coach, and in addition, everybody can be a life coach. But I think most importantly, everybody, whether you're a politician, an athlete, you're a restaurant owner, you're a waitress in a restaurant, everybody needs a life coach. So I think it's great. I think it's for everybody.
After meeting Eric and discussing with him what he wants to achieve, that I very much want to be part of that dream. I want to make people and this world and this country a better place. And I think with Eric we can accomplish that.
How many coaches are available, and what traits do they have in common?
We have approximately 25 coaches right now, and every day we're expanding. The common denominator of all Dash coaches is they realize that they have mortality and that life is really about helping other people. So as you'll probably see later on in the years to come, the one common thread of all Dash coaches is they all believe in the Dash principles, which is if you're determined and you have a positive attitude, you'll instill the successful traits and create happiness.
How do you stay motivated on a daily basis and encourage others to do the same?
Well, every good coach needs a coach. You know, for me, you have to be able to deal with certain things in life come to you that you may not be able to handle, such as myself. I'm not perfect like anybody else. But once I have a coach, which I have a coach now who I use, who I could relay things off of him, gives me the inspiration and the determination and the education to then relate that to other people as well.
They say it takes 7 positive comments to make up 1 negative. So it seems to me that what comes out of our mouth about ourselves and about others can have such a profound impact. What are your thoughts?
Oh, you really hit a very, very important part of the whole DASH concept, which is, you know, thoughts become words, words become actions, and then actions become your destiny. And something as simple as a thought, and then the action upon that thought, or the words that come from that, and then the action, and then actually implementing that action, is what causes society today to be in the perils that they are in. The problem with society as a whole is everyone becomes greedy because so many people put value on the tangible things in life, where it's you know, you've heard the expressions in the past, competition is great, and, you know, fish are cut bait, or, you know, it's all about who can win, who dies with the most toys wins. And I am one person. I have one corporation. My goal through this corporation is to go through life and teach people one by one by one. Because if you know the Fabergé commercial, you told two friends and so on, and it spreads. Just like negativity can spread, so can positive. And you have to start with somebody. If I motivate you, Nancy, and then you motivate your cameraman, and your cameraman motivates his family, I've done my job. I've started a thread or a chain, and it continues to grow. And we here at Dash do a lot of advertising, a lot of marketing to get this spread, to spread the word of Dash, to let people realize that life is not all about how much money you have in the bank. You could still live in a 40-room mansion, Nancy, and be homeless. So I leave that to society to make the determination. What's more important, how much money you have in the bank, or the love of the child looking in your eyes saying, "I love you, Daddy"?
Why is it so important for you to help people?
I've given my children a badge of disgrace by giving them my last name, and I feel that's very important. I have to go out and show my kids that they should be proud of having their last name. Many people make mistakes in life, and I've made a tremendous mistake, which led to my incarceration. And most people didn't think I was going to be able to come back from being incarcerated to being successful again. But my success is not about making money for Dash. My success is my kids coming to me and saying, "Dad, let's go play." And the fact that I put a smile on their face. So I want my, you know, people make mistakes every day. You have to be able to bounce back from those mistakes. I have a quote in the book where success is judged by how high you bounce after you fall. And that's what my goal is with Dash, is to bounce very, very high.
Can you give me just a few things that I can do right now to put my life on a good track?
I'm going to take out a brand new $100 bill. Now, everybody watching this news report, I'm going to ask them to raise their hands and say, "Who wants this $100 bill?" Raise your hands. So you raise your hand, Nancy. Well, let's say I take the $100 bill and I crumple it up. And I say, "Who still wants this $100 bill?" Okay. Everyone continues to raise their hands. But then I take the $100 bill and I put it on there and I stamp it, and I could spit on it, and I can kick it in the dirt, and I could do all these things. And then I pick it up and I say, "Who still wants this $100 bill?" And everyone continues to raise their hand. But this is probably the most valuable lesson that I could teach anybody in life, because regardless in life, whether you're perfectly straight or you're thrown on the ground and kicked and dumped and spit on, the $100 bill never changed its value. We as human beings go through a lot of things in life. My incarceration, the sexual abuse as a kid by a psychologist, never changes my value. My value will always be the same. And one of the lessons we try to teach people at Dash is, no matter what happens to you in life, as long as you remember that you have the same value that the day you were born, you could always change.
What do you love most about your job?
I go to sleep with a smile on my face because it gives me the ability to see my kids every day. It gives me the ability to help one person. Always. I don't go home or go to sleep until one person has been helped to the best of my ability. And I know that I'm doing something for the common good of mankind.
Eric Aronson believes that each person has a unique contribution to make during their lifetime, that each person matters. He's right. Eric's passionate commitment to the health of the human spirit is embodied in his company Dash Systems, which reminds us that with determination and a positive attitude, you can achieve success and happiness. Oh, and never stop asking yourself, how am I living my Dash? It will change your life in ways you never dreamed possible. I'm Nancy Hornback reporting for Close Up on America's Business.